Deal TV, learn and earn.
Top 50 Ways to Make Money with Land. Welcome to Deal TV Africa. We are Deal TV Africa on all social media platforms. Deal TV Learn and Earn. Africa's #1 business channel online and on demand. On Deal Coffee today we talk about land. Do you know that you can make money with land in many ways? We're not just talking about building apartments on your land and renting it out, but other verified ways of making money on your vacant land. That's all we present on this episode. Your land is your asset, and if you get creative with it, you can turn it into a cash cow. Most people invest a huge amount of money in acquiring acres of land, and then, what? They leave it vacant for a long time to grow weeds, useless trees, not timber, and house wild and dangerous animals. In our book, that's not a good decision at all because you've buried your money for nothing. Yeah. The value of the land can increase, and you resell. That's also an idea, but the speed of the increase depends on the location of your land. If it's situated in a fast-developing area, your plans can work. But if the area will take 10 to 20 years to develop, you're wasting your money unless you consider the business ideas we present here. So, let's show you the top 50 ways to make money on your land. Check them out. Ways to make money on land. 1. Rent it out to farmers. This is the simplest and commonest way to make money with vacant land. If you have acquired many acres of land, you can make money by allowing some farmers in your locality to plant on it. The success of this option depends on the type of land you own. Also, if it's a land where crops will survive, many farmers will give anything to rent some portions from you. What you need to do is to inquire from others how the renting works. However, if they negotiate per plot, you need to determine the amount and duration of the contract with the farmers. Some farmers in this business usually ask for a 2-year lease to harvest all their crops comfortably. Sometimes, they usually ask to renew the contract yearly until you're ready to use the land for your plans. 2. Sell some portions. If you have a large portion of land, say maybe 10 acres of land, you need to sell some parts of it. No matter the type of house or business you want to establish, that's a huge expanse of land. So, if you're going to make money with land, sell some acres or plots. Therefore, what you need to do is to find an agent who'll advertise the availability and bring potential buyers to you. Also, make sure you do your research to know the worth of land in your area. That way, no one will cheat you with a low offer. 3. Plant grapes for wine. If you're up for it, another way to make money with the land is to grow some grapes and start a winery. This idea is lucrative and sustainable if you know your craft. We all know how popular and in-demand wine and alcohol are in every country. If you know, you can turn it into a cash cow. If you don't know anything about it, do your research, get partners, or hire people who know about it. You can kickstart a profitable business to make money on your land. 4. Start a pig farm. Pork meat is yummy and cheap. In some countries, beef is expensive, and because of that, people depend on pork meat for their protein needs. If you have the land to start a pig farm, go for it, and make money. The truth is that the pig farming business is very profitable because those animals can reproduce so fast. It takes 3 months, 3 weeks and 3 days for a well-fed sow to gift you with 10 piglets. Imagine how many piglets a farm with 10 well-fed sows can record in 1 year. The number is ridiculously high, and that's how your profit multiplies. 5. Plant vegetables and fruits. Planting veggies and fruits on a wide expanse of land are one of the business ideas to consider on your land. Who doesn't eat those sweet and fresh beauties? We all need them, and that's why the market for fresh veggies and fruits is large. So, if you want to make money on your land, you can plant varieties and sell in the farmer's market. At least you can be sure of consistent demand in every season. 6. Start a cattle farm. There are two types of cattle to consider here. It's either you're farming cows for milk, or you're rearing them for meat. If you have the strength and knowledge, you can keep the two since you have the land. But remember, the beef cows are less troublesome to keep because you can sell them to butchers or meat sellers at maturity. But when it comes to dairy cows, you must milk them regularly, and that's a lot of work unless you have a cow milking machine. 7. Consider fish farming. Fish farming is another profitable way to make money on land. Since you have space already, go ahead and construct your ponds or use big tanks to start the farm. But this business requires some training. So, engage the services of another successful farmer to put you through. But, if you can study through online tutorials, do that and start a fish farm. The market for fishes is unending, so you don't have to worry about selling your products. 8. Keep bees. Honey is a healthy alternative to sugar, and we all know that. Almost every household needs honey, and that's why the market is usually large. So, if you start bee farming on your land, you're sure to make a profit. If you have a garden nearby, the bees will pollinate the veggies and fruits for you. So, if you decide to start this business, get your starter kit. Also, this kit will come with a hive tool, feeders, hive stand, smoker, frames and foundation, mesh helmet, honey supers, queen excluder, etc. You'll find everything you need to start your bee farming in the kit. 9. Dog kenneling. If you have a vast land that can be used for kenneling, why not make some investments into the business? You can build kennels on the land and house dogs for a fee. Families can leave their pets with you for a short vacation time and come back for them afterward. But they'll pay you, of course, and that's if you build a boarding kennel. The best part is that you can create these structures with woods. In some instances, people also breed dogs and cats in such kennels but must follow strict government legislation. 10. Plant and sell herbs. As more and more people embrace nature and its gifts to man, the demand for culinary and medicinal plants and herbs keeps rising. Some people would rather take a mixture of an herbal tonic than take different colorful pills. If you want to invest in this business, you can grow medicinal herbs or culinary plants. For the latter, we recommend plants that people use to cook, such as basil, curry, chives, cilantro, parsley, etc. Don't worry about selling them because most people visit the farmer's market to buy herbs and plants. 11. Cut firewoods and sell. If you have some trees on your land, turn them into a profitable wood business. You can cut them down and slice them for home fireplaces. Many homes keep fireplaces indoors, and others use these woods during camping. You can divide the woods and supply them to different families, especially during the winter season. In some parts of the world, many people still cook different event dishes on the open fire. Starting this business on your land can become very profitable if you live in those places. 12. Rear goats. Goats are sources of milk and meat. Starting a goat farm is very profitable because goat meat is always in high demand. In some parts of the world, goat meat is costlier than beef. That's to show you that the demand is often very high as well. So, you can use your land to rear goats and sell to butchers. But must be ready to work hard on your goat farm. The animals must eat well and be protected from poisonous plants to ensure a high return on your investment. 13. Start a poultry farm. No matter where you live in this world, poultry farming is a lucrative business worth considering. Everything on your farm converts nicely into huge sums of money. You can raise different birds, such as broiler, turkey, layers, cockerel, etc. Once these birds grow to maturity, you can sell some of them while keeping the layers to produce eggs to sell. Moreover, The bird droppings are also good for farming, and many farmers buy them from poultry owners to spray on their farms. So, if you construct a poultry house on your land, you're making a wise move. But remember, you must learn everything about poultry farming if you wish to succeed in it. 14. Grow flower and sell. Do you love beautiful flowers? Do you have the patience and knowledge to plant and nurture them to maturity? If your answer is yes to both questions, start growing flowers on your land and sell them in the farmer's market. Like we always say, you must learn what you need to succeed before starting the business. Also, your location depends on whether you should consider this option or not. If there's a demand for flowers in your country or state, you can make money from your flowers. But if there's no demand for such, don't bother unless it's for fun. 15. Construct storage and rent out. If you're still wondering how to make money on your land, why not use it as a storage facility for rent? So, you can construct warehouses and rent out to companies or individuals who need a place to store away their belongings. Also, if the land is vast, you can construct as many storage units as possible and rent them out. One good thing is that you can even build self-storage units which individuals will rent for short periods. The more units you build, the more money you make. 16. Rent your lands for camping. Many people love camping, but sometimes they lack the perfect location to camp. Churches sometimes organize camping expeditions for their members and rent suitable locations for such. If you have a wide land, you can add some essential facilities such as restrooms, and other resources which people need on a campground. Yes, it will involve some monetary investment, but it'll be worth it. 17. Start an outdoor fitness center. You can convert an empty land into an outdoor fitness center. If you're someone who loves to keep fit, you can take it up as an instructor. But if you're not, you can partner with a trainer and open up your land for people to join the workouts. You may be surprised at the number of people who are looking for a cheaper alternative to an indoor gym. 18. Grow marijuana, if legal. There's a catch here, and that's the legality of the plant in your location. If you're living in a state or country where it's legal, you can grow it on your land and sell. You may not know this, but the marijuana business is very lucrative. The plant's demand is high because it has many byproducts such as CBD, THC, etc. that people are using now apart from smoking. 19. Build a rentable property. This idea is profitable, but the investment is high. If you have a large expanse of land, you can build apartments and rent them out. But bear in mind that the success of this business idea depends on the location of your land. If it's located in a developed area, you'll make money from it. But if it's in the secluded areas where people are not living, you can explore other options here. 20. Build a shooting range. Many people want to learn how to shoot or fine-tune their shooting skills. The military usually builds these facilities, but some private individuals also establish them for recreational shooters. If you have what it takes to develop and manage it, you can make money from it on your land. But make sure you're legally permitted to build it. 21. Build a boat and RVs storage. Do you know that many people who live in suburban areas or cities find it hard to park their boats or RVs due to space? If your land is large enough to provide a storage facility for them, you'll make money through it. Just make sure that there's a demand for it before making the necessary investments. 22. Construct stables for horses. If you're living in areas where horse owners search for comfortable and safe boarding for their horses, you're in for a profitable business. Many people usually suppress their desire to buy horses due to a lack of stables. If you provide the stables for them, you'll make money because the price for horse boarding is usually high. 23. Provide car washing services. All you need to construct is a water source and other car washing tools to start. If your land is vast, car owners will be more comfortable coming around for your services. You don't even need to render it yourself. You can hire 1 or 2 experienced hands to run the business for you. 24. Start a bread and breakfast business. This is one of the business ideas that may require a little investment from you. If you have vast land without a structure, you can build some glamping tents, trailers, or cabins for people to rent. But if you already have a building on the land, you can just convert it to bread and breakfast for short-time renters and make money. Also, remember that the breakfast aspect of the business is very necessary. So, make sure you have plans on the ground to provide it. 25. Construct a public pool. There are lots of people who may be searching for a public swimming pool to catch fun. Don't think that everyone has easy access to a swimming pool, because they don't. If you open it and collect little payments for access, you'll make good money from it. Also, if you can offer swimming classes, many people will gladly pay to learn from you. 26. Build an outdoor gym center. An indoor gym is good, but nothing beats an outdoor gym facility. Many people will give anything to exercise with nature. Instead of the jam-packed environment indoors, they'll prefer an open space where they can work out and feel free. Just make sure that you invest in adequate gym equipment and build coverage for them. 27. Develop the land into an amusement park. People pay tickets to access amusement parks. However, some government-owned parks sometimes lack the necessary maintenance to keep it functional and entertaining. If you have some money to invest, use that vacant land for an amusement park. Also, many communities don't have these parks, and people sometimes travel far to entertain their kids. Why not bring the service closer to home and make money from it? The parents may gladly make you the town mayor out of gratitude. Laughs. 28. Construct a gas station. Building a gas station means a huge investment. You'll spend money on constructing and buying all the necessary equipment for the business. But one thing is clear, a gas station is very lucrative as the demand for your product is high and unending. It's even better if your land is very near to a highway, and there are no gas stations around. You can create the service and enjoy the dividends for many years. 29. Build a hostel. A hostel is a good business opportunity for anyone with a large expanse of land. It will involve a huge investment, but you'll recover in no time. If your land is close to colleges, universities, or training institutions, it'll be easy to rent it. But even if these institutions are not nearby, you'll still make it profitable by renting the rooms out to tourists. Just make sure that the rooms are comfortable and have the basic facilities and amenities such as restrooms, clean water sources, electricity, kitchen, and dining room. 30. Use it for a golf course. Building a golf course is not very easy because you'll need to make some huge investments. But the good news is that you can make high ROI if your land is in the right location and provide the right resources for golfers. It may not be easy at first, but with the right promotion, you'll make profits. But bear in mind that your land has to be from 75 to 200 acres before you think of building a golf course. 31. Build a parking lot. There are many business districts without safe and spacious parking lots. Many people sometimes lose their cars because they parked it in unsecured locations. If you have a large land and not ready to build on it, convert it to a parking lot. Employ 1 or 2 people to stand as security guards and collect money for parking space. 32. Lease to animal farmers for grazing. There's absolutely no investment, but you make money off it. If your land is very large and there are green grasses for animals, you can also lease the land to local animal farmers. They can graze their cow and goats on your land for a fee. Grazing will even help to keep the grasses from growing into a thick forest. 33. Build a traveler's car park. Building a traveler's car park where people can access commercial vehicles is one of the business ideas worth considering. Therefore, many people who converted their lands into this business make money by collecting parking fees from commercial drivers who pick travelers from the park. If you have money, you can take it a step further by buying some buses for commercial purposes. All you have to do is employ some good drivers to handle the commercial buses. This idea is very good in countries where people travel more on commercial buses. 34. Rent your land as an event center. If you have raw land, you can convert it to an event center. You're not going to make any monetary investment in this idea. Once you rent it to the organizers of such events, they'll set it up the way they need it. Your job is to receive the payments and allow them to use it for the agreed time. 35. Build billboards and rent for ads. You can combine this business idea with others because billboards will take a little space on your land. So, you can still do different things with the remaining plots. Once you've built the billboards, place your number and a vacant flex on it. That way, companies who need space to advertise their products and services will rent the billboards for some time. But this option is best for people whose lands are close to high-traffic areas. 36. Start an ATM business. This is amongst the business ideas that you can combine with another lucrative one for more profits. The machine takes a small portion of land, but it can be a cash cow if managed properly. The investment is small, and the stress is a little. Just make sure you get the license for it and grow it into a large business. You can buy your ATM, or you can rent it. 37. Organize sports tournaments. Here is another way to make money with the land. Organizing a sports tournament may be time-consuming, but it'll be worth it. You can organize sporting events such as bike competitions, marathon, scavenger hunt, and sell tickets to people. Moreover, you can make money by charging for parking too. But this idea will fly if you're a sports enthusiast or ready to work with one to achieve your goals. 38. Build a hotel, restaurant. This idea requires huge financial investment, but it's a long-term business opportunity that generates money regularly. If your land is vast, you can build a hotel with well-equipped rooms for people to rent. But if you don't have that much money for a hotel, build a restaurant where people can come, eat and go. There are lots of money in these two business ideas, and you can even become a franchisor through them. 39. Start a snail farm. Snail farming is another business idea that requires some financial investment. Many homes, restaurants, and hotels offer snail dishes, and believe me, it's quite expensive. That's to tell you how much money you can make from the business. But before you invest in it, learn what you can to avoid failure or losses. Also, research the market to know the demand trend. 40. Build a senior care home. There are many countries and cities where the home for the elderly is available and not too affordable. In some places, you can barely find such elderly homes. So, look around your state or city, and if such a home is missing or not easily accessible, build one on your land. But make sure that there's a demand for it and that you have the right facilities and amenities for the elderly. Also, get the necessary approval and licenses to avoid issues with the law. 41. Drill the land. What if there's oil or other important minerals in your land? Many people have hit it big with such discoveries. You can call in the experts to check your land for it. If the oil companies find oil in it, you're in for huge land royalties. But, if there's no mineral on your land, you can just drill it for water and establish a commercial source of water. Some villages depend on this service for clean drinkable water. You can make money from it as well. 42. Create a wedding venue for rent. Outdoor weddings are usually romantic, captivating, and attractive. Saying "I do" in such a serene and natural environment surrounded by friends is usually a dream. So, if you can convert your land into a wedding venue, many brides will rent it for their dream weddings. You can make money almost every weekend except maybe during the rainy season. 43. Build an energy plant. Many individuals and companies are now dependent on solar and wind energy to run their operations. If your land is properly situated to produce any of these energy sources, why not start? Companies will pay for both solar panels and wind turbines on the land. They can be paying commission or pay you every month, depending on the contract terms. But note that you make some financial investments on it too. 44. Lease your land as a junkyard. People make money from collecting junk. If you're not interested in starting the business, lease your land to people who collect junks for recycling purposes. Also, the downside is that if your land is close to people's homes, it may not be a good idea to heap junks on your land. Well, they may complain to the authorities. 45. Create a parking space for mobile homes. Many people live in their mobile homes for years because they love moving from one place to another. Some other people do it because they're going through some tough times. No matter the reason, these people always search for where to park their mobile homes safely. You can provide a place for them and collect a parking fee. 46. Build a spiritual resort. Do you know that one effective way of relieving stress is by spending a day with nature? Many people usually search for the perfect location to relax their minds amidst the wonderful creatures of nature. If you have a land with greeneries, such as trees, flowers, plants, and even birds, you should provide a spiritual resort for people who needs it. The investment will require some money to build small accommodations with basic facilities. But the ROI will be worth your while. 47. Rent out to hunters. If your land has abundant game, you can turn it into a hunter's heaven. If there's a pool in the land as well, you've already won the hearts of many fishermen. So, if the land is endowed with these natural resources, and you're wondering how to make money on 10 acres, open it up to hunters and anglers. They'll lease the land for a particular period and pay according to the lease agreement. 48. Build a drive-in theater. If other ways of using land to make money are not suitable for you, why not build a drive-in theater? You'll have to invest in erecting the cinema structure, which will comprise a parking lot, projection booth, movie screens suitable for the outdoor viewers, and also a concession stand. All these will help you to turn your theater into a profitable business. You'll make money from the tickets and parking fees. 49. Rent it out for a cell tower. Another way we want to share on how to make the land pay for itself is by allowing cell phone companies to build their cell towers on your land. You'll make money from the rents they pay on a monthly or yearly basis, depending on your agreement with them. 50. Start farmers market. People who open their lands to start the farmers market often make a lot of money through it. You can use your land for it and sell your herbs, fruits, veggies, and also collect some fees from other farmers who come to the market to sell. Every market has rules and permits which users pay to use it. Sometimes, owners of these markets erect small shops for sellers to rent. So, if your land can serve this purpose, use it to create a farmers market in your community. Building a profitable small farm. If you have vacant land and planning how to build a successful small farm on it, let's help you with a few pointers. But before I dive properly into it, let's consider some profitable farm ideas to consider on your land. Fish farming. We've mentioned it earlier in this article, and it's an idea worth exploring for your small farm. If you start a fish farm, you'll make lots of money from it. Tree nursery. You can nurture important trees and sell them to individuals and companies before they mature. The prominent one includes different types of fruits that people always buy to plant in their homes. However, as stated above, herbs and plants can make a lot of money on this type of farm, depending on the kind of herbs you produce. Dairy farm. You can establish a small farm where you produce milk from cows and goats. You can start with 100 cows or more, depending on your capital. Multiple crop farming. This is where you plant different types of crops on your land depending on compatibility. For instance, you can plant cassava and corn on the same land at the same time. Cannabis farming. Establishing a cannabis farm is very profitable, but make sure that the plant is legal in your state. Snail and mushroom farming. These two farms can make high ROI if you establish and manage them well. Since your product is food, the demand will always be on the high side. Flower farming. You can make good profits from starting this small idea. Many people love fresh flowers, and some visit farmers market every day to buy it. So, your customers will be unending. Poultry farming. You can raise all types of birds and sell their byproducts such as eggs, meat, and manure. The business is lucrative, and the demand for eggs and chicken will not cease anytime soon. Others. Apart from these small business ideas above, you can also consider starting an animal petting farm, fruit picking farm, agri-tourism, organic farm, rooftop gardens, hydroponic farming, etc. How to build a profitable small farm. No matter the farm idea you choose to explore, if you want it to succeed and become profitable, do the following. Write a business plan. Every business startup needs a business plan to guide its processes. If you start your small farm without proper planning, you may fail along the way. So, create a business plan to direct your way. Learn what you need. Starting your small farm without taking the time to study your industry is not right. Also, you have to learn about your target products to ensure that you can produce them without hitches. Read books, attend conferences, check the newspapers, and connect with neighboring farmers too. What you learn will help you to succeed. Research the market. Market research will show if there's adequate demand for your farm products. Don't assume that you'll always find a market for what you produce, or else, you may invest also wrongly. Also, if the market is saturated, you may not make good returns on your investment. So research the farmer's market to know what's available and what's is not. Choose your crops right. You need to choose the suitable crops for your soil, the climate of your location, and your goals. Some crops are profitable to produce, while others are not. You may also need to choose between annual crops and perennial crops, depending on your goals. So, pay attention to it and make the right choice. Test the waters first. We suggest you start small before diving into loans for farm machinery and larger lands. So, if you're a new farmer, don't rush into borrowing that could land you in debt if the farm fails. Start with a small investment and test out the waters before a full-head dive. Diversify. Diversification is always the key to avoid a hard crash. Don't depend only on one type of crop or animal. You can plant different crops to hedge against failure. If one crop fails, the other one will likely succeed. That way, you can also discover the best crops to focus on your small farm. Always document. Documentation will serve as your guide to establishing processes. Therefore, if you try out a new crop or animal and document the process, you'll have a record of what you did that worked and the ones that flopped. Your documents will help you to do better in the future and avoid repeating past mistakes. Proper accounting. Without keeping an account of your financial journey on the small farm, how will you know if you're succeeding or failing? Make sure you establish a proper accounting process to see where you stand financially all the time. Final words. If you have vacant land and still thinking about how to make money with it, this article has shown you 50 ways to do it. We took our time to pick these profitable ideas that can work in almost every country. The ball is now in your court. You can leave your acres of land to lie waste, or you can convert it into a cash cow. Some of the ideas we shared here require financial investment, while others don't. It's left for you to choose the ones that suit your budget and your goals. The bottom line is that there are many things to do with your land if you don't want to build on it. So, pick an idea today and start a profitable business on your land.
Deal TV, learn and earn.